Greetings, fellow humans, and welcome to another Tea with JD. And this is actually going to be a general discussion video that came about from a comment in another video. First off, a comment on the whole dynamic of this. That's the cool thing about Booktube. Commenting on someone's video or having interaction can lead you to get ideas for videos. Hence, this one. Recently, I saw a video by Emily Kate where at one point in the video, I don't know exactly where, she mentions that sometimes you have to be selfish, and I wanted to do a discussion video on that. I think it's something very important to discuss, especially in these times and especially in this community. Not because I have anything bad to say about this community, quite the opposite. But being selfish can be a good thing. Okay, so here's the thing. From a very young age, we're taught that being selfish is a bad thing. That's true to a certain degree. Not sharing food with someone who's going hungry is obviously bad. Wanting to amass wealth and be this megalomaniac asshole, and not use those resources for any type of good, bad. But being selfish is not always bad. And sometimes you learn that it's necessary to take care of yourself. And especially when it comes to the commodity that anyone has, but everyone loses every single day, which is time. Time is the only thing in your life that you can't regain. You can actually even regain health. You can regain wealth. You can regain a bunch of things. But regaining time is impossible. So you have to be very careful with that. I'm one of those people that has trouble saying no or standing by I live. Someone needs help, and I love to help. It's not saying that there aren't occasions that I delay or take longer than some people would like, or that I would like. I would like to be able to solve a situation. And some of the things that I end up taking on aren't exactly simple. And although I may delay, I never forget. And that's something that a lot of people might be surprised. I still have to finish beta reading a book from about 3 years ago. And I do have a lot to say to the author about their book. Because it's not that it's bad, it's that it needs adjusting. I don't know if they already rewrote it or released it or whatnot. But it's something that has the potential to be great, and it isn't. And just the fear of having to have that conversation has led me to take as long as it has. And sometimes certain books you take a long time with. That's one, unfortunately. And I was beta reading it. But, throughout this process, Mom got cancer. She beat cancer. I switched jobs. I quit jobs. I had several health scares and health situations. Spasms in my back, spasms in my neck. I had to take an emotional time out on one occasion. I got pneumonia. A couple of things have happened in the last 3 years. It's been crazy. But during that process, I've also published 10 books. And I've also finished 2 manuscripts, additional manuscripts, have had them beta read, do a ton of things on social media, help a ton of people and whatnot. So sometimes things slip by the wayside because either it's more cumbersome or it's more difficult or something. But sometimes you do have to learn to say no. And sometimes you do have to stand your ground. I'm one for helping people. But if every single message that you send me is to ask me for a favor, I may grow wary of that. It's not that I don't want to help, but it gets to a point where it's a bit draining, and you go like, oh, I don't want to have this thought, but are you taking advantage of me? And some people are, and some people just want to get things done, and they see that you're helping, and they want to get it done. I get it. But sometimes you have to think about yourself, and sometimes you have to take care about yourself. And burnout and fatigue, emotional, mental, and physical, is a definite possibility with all the things that we take on. I'm always going at a pretty fast clip when it comes to my projects and doing different things and switching channels a lot. And I've been on the verge of burnout for a while now. I've taken my foot off the accelerator, done a couple of things to relax, learned to say no. But situations happen, and life happens. That's not a bad thing. And basically everyone at some point or another in their life will find themselves in a situation where they have to be selfish. They have to think about themselves, and that's not a bad thing. Especially for us creative types, each person has to evaluate. But I'm a copywriter in advertising, and I'm also a writer. So, as someone who indulges in creativity in all the ways, I have learned to be selfish with my time. That means going to lunch alone, a lot of times. To grab a notebook and just bolt. To have someone say, oh, let's have lunch, and say no. It's not that I don't want to share time with people. It's that sometimes I have something that I have to get out of myself. Regardless of whatever issues I may have with myself or things that I don't enjoy about myself, I actually do enjoy my own company. I enjoy being alone from time to time and just being lost in my thoughts. That's why I enjoy writing so much. The thing is that when creativity and creative things are what bring you joy, not being creative, not creating, not doing the things that you love, make you sad or make you frustrated or negatively charge you and borderline break you down. So that means that, unfortunately, from time to time, to create, you have to do a ninja vanish. Smoke bomb and just bolt. And that's not a bad thing, Sometimes you have to watch less Booktube. Sometimes you have to learn to identify the things that you can skip a day or 2 or 5 without. And when you create, you have to be wary about your time. Travis West is a great guy, great booktuber, and I felt for him a lot in a recent video that he did in terms of, in regards to is Booktube an addiction. I did a response video because apart from being a really bright kid, it shows that he has a lot to offer, but that getting fixated on something like Booktube, it's not to say that it's silly, it's to say that it can get to the point where you dedicate most of your time to that. Right now I'm doing a video instead of writing, but right now I had I was compelled to do the video, not to write. It's knowing how to weave around your desires and what's piquing your interest. But in short, going back to that first point, when we're young, we're taught to not be selfish in the most obvious ways. And that's a really good thing. It's a good thing to embed into people's psyche, especially because life will teach us that we do need to be selfish and think of ourselves at some point. And again, that's not a bad thing. It's knowing to say no and saying this is me time. So, yeah. What are your thoughts on this topic? Is selfish always bad? Anyways, cheers to you. Thanks for watching. By all means, if you want to support my writer journey, check out the links below. There are links to my Amazon page where I have all my books. I'm doing this because I was scolded by someone for not promoting my work. And my other social media, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Google Plus, and I'm on Facebook. And I do have a blog. So yeah, those are the links. This is the topic. By all means, if you have any thoughts, use that sexy comment section below. Until next time, peace, love, and maki rolls.